Welcome back, students. We will now move on to Module 7. Let me share my screen. All right, now that our hands are clean, we're going to move into maintaining a clean and healthy kitchen. Each year, millions of people get foodborne illnesses, and foodborne illnesses are preventable. As caregivers working with a sensitive population, we need to understand the steps that we can take to keep people safe. And that very first thing we can do is wash our hands, which we learned on our last module. We can keep our food preparation areas clean. Now, using Clorox wipes, it's an interesting fact that if you put Clorox wipes on your clothes are fine. If you put bleach on your clothes, if you put Clorox on your clothes, you know what happens. So there's very little bleach in Clorox wipes. So if you prefer to use bleach, maybe use a spray bottle with a bleach water solution, a diluted bleach solution. But we want to use something like hot soapy water or a bleach and water solution to keep areas clean before and after we prepare food. We want to use separate cutting boards for meats and fish than we do for like produce and raw foods. We want to use a meat thermometer to make sure that our meats are well cooked to kill any bacteria. So if you think about like cooking, let's say cooking a steak. When you put a steak on the grill, you sear the outside, you cook the outside, that kills the bacteria on the surface of the meat. Now let's say you've taken those steaks and you've put them in a grinder. So whatever was on the outside is now on the inside. And when we cook ground meats, that's when we have to pay particular attention to make sure everything is very well cooked. Ground beef, ground pork, ground chicken, ground turkey, sausage, those things where whatever was on the outside is now ground into the inside. We need to make sure that's well cooked. Clean dishes, utensils, cookware, clean them after each use using that hot soapy water. Make sure to rinse them well. We want to store food properly. We want to keep raw meat, poultry, and fish as it's defrosting on the bottom shelf of the refrigerator so that nothing drips onto other food. We want to use clean dish towels, clean sponges to wash things, wipe counters. Don't let food sit out too long on the counter. When food is at room temperature, bacteria grows quickest. So, you might sit it out there for a few minutes, but then get it into the refrigerator right away. And then foods defrosting, try to defrost them in the refrigerator rather than setting them out on the counter. As a caregiver, a very important part of our job is to go into the refrigerators, into the pantries of those people that we're caring for. And we want to let them know that they're at a high risk of really getting sick if their food is spoiled. So I don't know about you, if you're caring for a loved one at home, if you've ever gone into their refrigerator and seen that they have things not just expired a couple days, but maybe a couple years. And so we want to let them know that part of why we're there is to help keep them safe and start going through and maybe throwing things away. Another thing about this population is generally they don't like to throw things away. So we need to tell them the why. Why do we need to do this? Why is it important to keep them healthy? Because foodborne illness can lead to, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, dehydration, and even death. If someone has a vision disability, they might not be able to see that mold is growing on surfaces. So we want to open every jar, look inside, look on the lids, check for mold. They might not be able to smell. Their smell sometimes is altered, so they might not be able to smell if their milk is spoiled or the cheese is spoiled. So we want to also check that. Okay, someone with a vision disability might not see this as a moldy sandwich. And looking at bread and looking at things that are in their pantry, again, checking for the expired dates and keeping those things clean. People that are at a high risk of foodborne illness, again, is older adults, pregnant women, anyone going through chemotherapy, HIV, AIDS, kidney disease, diabetes, anything where the immune system might be compromised just a bit. So as a caregiver, you're their eyes, you're their noses, you're checking to make sure that their kitchens and their food is prepared in a safe way. Come back and we'll talk about food prep and meal planning.